Hello again. This is Doug Heath from Black Business Experience, the show about black businesses for black businesses. And today, our esteemed guest is Miss Monique Broadnax from I Embrace. Monique, how are you today?
I'm doing well. Glad to be
Awesome,
here.
awesome. So tell us a little bit about I Embrace.
Well, I Embrace is an organization that I founded in 2012. We're geared to help middle school and high school and college students with their college readiness and career awareness activities.
Awesome. Now, is that for all kids of all, kids, every kid,
Yes,
everywhere?
we service all kids regardless of race, economic status, what have you.
Okay, great. And what cost you to start this?
Well, I am a product of a single-parent household, and
Okay.
college was on the radar. However, I had some difficulty trying to navigate my way through the college process.
That is something very difficult to do.
And while I was doing that, I was interested into the HBCUs, historically black colleges and universities. So as a result of learning about colleges, learning about the application process and what was necessary to get into college and stay there, I ended up at Howard University and
Wow.
fell in love
Excuse
with
me.
the HBCU experience. And being from San Antonio, Texas, the HBCUs along the East Coast don't get a lot of exposure or recognition.
That's very true.
So I Embrace, we do several different activities throughout the year to get the kids exposed to college. We do tours, but also I'm trying to promote the HBCUs within the San Antonio
That
community.
is awesome. Now, are you the only one doing that in San Antonio?
That I'm aware of, yes.
That is awesome. Now, tell me about the HBCUs. If I'm a kid, why would I? And so, and it's diverse. So they now accept kids of all races.
Yes,
And, okay.
the HBCUs have always accepted people of all races, but it
Okay.
was founded on the premise when blacks weren't able to go to
Traditional
higher
universities.
education.
Okay.
Yes, so it's a wonderful atmosphere. It's a nurturing atmosphere. It's smaller classrooms. If you are a student that excels in a smaller classroom, or you need that one-on-one attention, first generation students, an an HBCU would be the ideal campus for you.
Okay. Now, I've known that they've had some problems that have hit the media, over the last maybe 5, 7, 10 years. What have been those kind of issues? Are they just funding issues?
Yes,
Or?
primarily funding. There's about 100 in the U.S. today, and that's 2-year and 4-year.
Okay.
And we are heavily funded by the federal government. You
Okay.
do have your private colleges that are able to fund themselves, but predominantly we're funded by the state and the federal government. So when we take a hit on funding, that affects our enrollment. Unfortunately, some kids aren't able to return that following year
Wow.
because they can't afford to go to college.
Really?
So it is the experience that I had and several of my peers who attended HBCUs. I've just taken it upon myself to try to keep them open.
Okay.
And make sure that all kids are exposed to them.
Okay. Now, I know here in San Antonio, you talk about funding and about some of the problems that people have getting continued funding. We have this thing called Cafe College.
Yes,
Okay. Now,
yes.
do you expose them to that, and how does that work?
Yes, I have exposed the students that I work with at Cafe College. I'll be doing some workshops this school year.
Okay.
So you'll be able to check in on those workshops in Cafe College schedule to see when I'll be hosting some workshops. But that is a wonderful avenue for kids to go and do SAT, ACT prep, learn about what to do if they're going to college, and even universities do meet students, so they have representatives
Oh, okay.
at
So
Cafe
the universities
College as
actually
well.
come into Cafe College.
Yes.
Now, what about funding? Do they do financial aid preparation or any of that?
That is something that they do as well.
Okay.
They have financial aid advisors there to assist with families at
Okay.
Cafe College.
So if I go to an HBCU and I have financial aid, I don't have to worry about getting my funding cut for next year? Is that a correct statement, or?
No, unfortunately, you never know when funding is going to be cut, but it's important, anyone who's interested in pursuing college, to fill out the FAFSA, the financial aid form, because
Okay.
that may not just be open to loans, but scholarships as well.
Okay.
Many colleges are tying in their scholarship programs with that financial aid
Okay, to
application.
the ability of the family to pay.
So regardless of what the
Okay.
financial income is or the
Okay.
household income, everyone needs to fill out that form.
Okay.
And those are some of the things I talk about in the workshop and what's necessary to prepare yourself academically, financially, socially for higher education.
Now, it seems like the HBCUs are making a comeback. I've noticed now that they've got, you know what they've got? They've got their sports are on national TV now. They're kind of seem to be getting a lot more recognition. Is that a correct statement, or is that my imagination?
I would say making a comeback, yes. I guess for the diehard HBCU family and friends, it never left. But
Okay.
as far as the national scene, I guess we are getting on the
Okay.
radar once again.
That's awesome, because I just think that it's a fabric of our heritage, and I would just hate to see them. You say there's still 100 of them here in the country. correct?
Yes.
Now, how many of them are in Texas?
I'm not quite sure. I would say maybe 6 to 10,
6 to 10?
In San Antonio.
Okay.
I don't know if you know St. Philip's Community College is an HBCU.
I was going to ask that question.
Yes,
it
it
is.
is.
Okay. Now, what about Prairie View?
Prairie View, Texas Southern, we have Houston Tillotson, we have
Wow,
Wiley, we
okay.
have quite a few in
So
Texas.
even though Prairie View is part of the A&M system, it's still an HBCU?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Very good. I learned something right there. That's awesome.
And Texas is as far as the HBCUs as far as west, so it
Okay.
stops at Texas.
Stops at Texas.
A lot of the HBCUs are usually, the students are usually from Texas and California in the East Coast, because
Okay.
Cali has to come over to Texas and beyond on the East
Okay.
Coast to find an HBCU.
Okay.
So
That's
we're
fascinating.
fortunate to have some HBCUs
Here in the
Texas.
state that we don't have to travel to.
Correct.
That is awesome. Now, if I want to know more about the HBCU experience, more about I Embrace, how do I do that?
Well, we do have a website.
Okay.
Please feel free to visit our website at iembrace-ed.org.
Okay.
And on the website, there's information. We have a HBCU college fair that's coming up in November. We team up with the NAACP Youth Council, so we'll have an HBCU college fair.
Okay.
We also have the HBCU Experience. That is a 9-day excursion to
Wow.
HBCUs in Georgia and Florida, and we'll take middle school and high school students.
9 days?
Yes, I also do a very thorough 90-minute presentation. I have one coming up in September
Okay.
14th, but that information is on the website. And this year, just because San Antonio has so many HBCU alums here in the city, to give us an opportunity to meet and greet and network with one another, I'm going to have an HBCU family reunion in
Very
November.
nice,
So
very
all of that
nice.
information, as things come up and we finalize the activities, they'll be posted on the website.
That is awesome. Well, Monique, you're to be commended for the work that you do.
Well, thank
and
you.
for creating I Embrace. I mean, you've made all of us richer and better by doing so. Thank you once again for being here today. This is Doug Heath from the Black Business Experience. And remember, if you're not making dollars, you're not making cents. We'll see you next time.